Okay, so if you're pregnant, you've probably got this long list of foods you're supposed to avoid, right? But what about papaya? For like generations, this amazing tropical fruit has been caught up in a web of confusion and, honestly, a little bit of fear. Well, today we're going to slice right through all that noise to get to the truth about papaya and pregnancy. You see this question everywhere, don't you? In online mom groups, at family dinners. Is eating papaya a danger to my growing baby? It seems like it should be a simple yes or no, but the real answer is actually way more interesting than that.
And look, this isn't just some random thing someone made up on the internet. This quote comes from a prenatal dietitian who saw just how common this worry is. I mean, in places where papaya is a part of everyday life, this question causes some serious anxiety. It makes you wonder, right? Where did this whole fear even come from?
All right, to really get this, we've got to do a little detective work and trace the myth back to where it all started. Because it didn't just appear out of thin air. There's a very specific reason, a specific part of the papaya that's at the heart of this entire thing. Turns out it's not about the fruit itself, but about something hiding inside. Okay, so here's the absolute key. We are not talking about all papaya. The focus of the fear, the supposed culprit, is specifically on unripe, green papaya. You know, the kind where if you cut it, you might see this milky white sap. That sap is called latex. And folks, that's the key ingredient in this whole story. And you know, when you lay it out like this, the theory actually sounds pretty convincing, doesn't it? Step 1, unripe papaya has a lot of latex. Step 2, that latex is loaded with an enzyme called papain. Step 3, scientists noticed that papain kind of looks like some of the hormones our bodies use to get labor started. So the theory goes, could eating this stuff by accident basically kickstart contractions? So that's the theory. And yeah, it sounds plausible. But, and this is a big but, now we get to the most important part. Let's switch gears from the story of the fear to the reality of the science. It's time to see what the evidence actually says. Aha! And here is the catch, the giant, glaring catch. The research that kicked off this whole panic, it wasn't even done on pregnant women munching on a fruit salad. No, it was done on animals, and they were given super concentrated extracts of that unripe papaya latex in amounts way, way higher than anyone would ever eat. I mean, that context changes everything, doesn't it? And this right here, this is the core of the whole mix-up. The myth just throws all papaya into one big, dangerous bucket. But the reality is so much clearer. The risk, which, by the way, is still just a theory, is tied only to the unripe stuff. But for that sweet, delicious, ripe papaya that you and I actually eat, there is just no good evidence that it poses any risk at all. None. So get this. Not only is ripe papaya safe, it's actually a total powerhouse for you and your baby. Seriously, we're flipping the script here from a food to avoid to a food you should probably be adding to your cart. Okay, let's break down the good stuff. First up, it's loaded with vitamin C, which is awesome for your immune system and helps you absorb that all-important iron. And then there's folate. You guys, this one is so important, especially early on, for preventing certain birth defects. Plus, you get a great dose of fiber to help with, keeping things moving, along with potassium and antioxidants. It's a nutritional superstar. And this quote really just says it all. Can you imagine being told your whole life to avoid something only to find out it's packed with one of the most vital nutrients you need during pregnancy? Getting the right information isn't just a relief, it's genuinely empowering. All right, so we've established that ripe papaya is on the yes list. But how can you be 100% sure you're picking the right one at the store? Don't worry, this next part is your super simple, practical guide. Honestly, it could not be simpler. If the skin is green and feels hard like a rock, just leave it. That's the unripe kind. What you're looking for is that beautiful orange or yellow skin, and it should have a little bit of give when you press it gently. That's your signal that it's sweet, safe, and good to go. So, here's your super simple 3-step plan to enjoy papaya safely. 1. Pick that fully ripe, orangey yellow fruit. 2. Just like any fruit or veggie, give the outside a good wash before you cut into it. And 3. Enjoy. Put it in a smoothie, a fruit salad, or just eat it with a spoon. It's that easy. Okay, one quick but really important warning here. While the ripe fruit is perfectly fine, those concentrated papain or papaya enzyme pills that are sold for digestion, that's a whole different ballgame.
They have a much, much stronger dose of that enzyme and are definitely not recommended during pregnancy. Just stick to the whole fruit.
So, if there's just one thing you remember from all of this, let it be this simple fact. Papaya is not the problem. The entire issue comes down to one single thing: ripeness. Go for ripe and you can eat it with total confidence. So, we've busted one huge food myth today, but let's be real. There are a million others floating around out there confusing everyone. So, we want to leave you with this question: what other food rules have you been told that you're just not so sure about? Let us know in the comments. Who knows? It might be the star of our next explainer.